Why do men who leave always come back? In this video, I'll go over the reasons that men will end a relationship and then show up months later trying to get your love and attention all over again. I'll also tell you if you should give him a second chance. Hi, I'm Lucy Goldman from LoveLearnings. As a commitment expert, I've noticed a particular pattern among men. Some men will run away from the relationship at first sign of trouble or intimacy, and then, when you think it's over for good, when you finally started to move on, they'll show up again and start the whole thing all over. So, why do men do this? Here are some simple things to look for to explain his actions. Let's go through them one by one. 1. They want sex. This is the most obvious one. If he broke up with you because he didn't want a relationship and now all he's looking for is something physical, then there's a good chance he falls into this camp. I'm sure that I don't have to tell you that men tend to be more sexually driven than women. This means that he can compartmentalize his feelings for you and just use you for sex, or at least he thinks he can. This is why many men show up with kind words and romantic gestures when you haven't heard from him in months, only to disappear once he's done the deed. 2. He hasn't healed. Men get over breakups differently. A study found that it takes men longer to get over a breakup because they don't process their feelings the same as women. Instead of healing, he'll simply push his feelings down, and when you push your feelings down, they always come bubbling back up. It could be that he doesn't have a support system to talk about his feelings, so he doesn't know how to properly deal with what he's feeling. This means that when he comes crawling back 6 months later, it's because he hasn't fully processed what happened, so he's still stuck on you. 3. He's afraid of losing you. Even if things were well and truly over, on some level, he's afraid to really let you go for good. This is more common with guys who were jealous and possessive during your relationship. It could be that he doesn't want you, but he also doesn't want anybody else to have you. 4. This is what he wants. Some men leave not because they want to break up, but because they were afraid of getting too close. In a way, you're giving him exactly what he wants: the ability to stay at a distance and still receive your love, sex, and attention. With that in mind, don't let him come crawling back if you want a relationship with him again. I know it's tempting, but if you let him treat you this way, then he has no incentive to change and really start treating you properly. 5. He misses you. If a man comes back after a long period of time, you can safely assume that it was because he missed you. But remember that you can miss someone and not want them back in your life. Many people don't understand this, and so they resort to recreating the same relationships with the same people and expect a different result. Don't let this happen to you. 6. He loves the chase. This is similar to number 4. Many men love the thrill of the chase they get from pursuing and seducing a woman, but when they get to achieve their goal, they don't know how to manage an actual relationship. This is why he'll leave and then come back. This is especially true if you haven't been particularly receptive to his advances, and yet that's only caused him to push harder and harder and be more romantic and loving. There's little that you can do with this kind of guy. They're just unwilling to really build anything real with you because what they really want is the chase. 7. Because he can. Honestly, the number one reason that men come back after a period of time is that you let him. Not to say you're responsible for his actions, but it does take two to tango. If you always allow him back in the door when he comes back to you, then he'll know that you're always there for him if he needs you, regardless of how it might affect you, and even him, emotionally. 8. He has no other options. This one can be a hard one to hear if he's someone you consider to be the love of your life. Sometimes men will come back to try for another chance because he's seen what his prospects are and they don't look good. It could be that he really wants you back or that nobody else wants him. I'm going to stop the list there, but here are even more reasons that men could come crawling back. It could be because he wants control. It could have to do with his ego, Or it could be that he's just unable to let you go. But remember, just because he won't let go, it doesn't mean he loves you. As you can see, there are plenty of reasons that men come back, and most of them have nothing to do with his feelings for you. So just remain strong if you want to get out of this in one piece. Unfortunately, you have to make the choice to say no. If you keep allowing his behavior, then it's never going to stop. So once you've made the choice that this is over for good, stick to your guns. Delete his number, don't answer the phone, and do what you have to do to move on. You'll be glad you did. But what about the rare situation where you think you could actually make this work again? Should you give him another chance? Before you jump back into it, you need to look for these 3 things to know that it has a chance of working out. 1, he's sorry for what happened. 2, he's had a realization. And 3, he changes his behavior. So first off, the apology is necessary if he's been mistreating you or keeping you at a distance. If a guy really wants to give things another shot, then he's going to regret breaking up with you in the first place. The realization he's had that's changed his mind is also very important. You need to hear him say that something happened to make him realize how important you are to him, that he was missing out by not having you in his life, and that he doesn't want to be without you again. And the last thing that you need to look for is that he actually changes. Promises that this time will be different are all well and good, but unless he puts his money where his mouth is, things aren't going to change. And I'll leave you with my top reason why men always come back. Because you're still there. That's right. If you stay in the same place you were when he left, then he's going to see no reason not to come back to you. This is one of the reasons why it's so important to continue to grow and change as time goes on. If you stay stuck in the same place, you're going to have men who can't help but to come around whenever they feel like it. If you're able to grow and change, then when he comes back to find you, he's going to see that you're no longer the same person he knew, and he'll know that it's time for him to move on. I'm Lucy Goldman. Thanks for watching.